Don't you just love how the goddamn trolls just take you out of context? They steel man you, and they gaslight you, and they do a lot of things, and then you try to troll them back, but every time you do, they just totally ignore it. And no matter how slow and fast you talk, they're not gonna admit to the fact that there's so many videos out there talking about it, so many articles, and no matter how clear and unclear you might be, you're never gonna get there. But actually, you might already be there if you're an Oatmeal Joe Arnold man, devastating through the stars that could never ever get back because you've already wrote so many articles. Not that you were clear, but then again, even if you were, they wouldn't even care because you were, but nobody keeps track. You remember all the times that you were able to do that, but then nobody kept track because nobody remembers, and then you were already banned so many times off all the websites. Do you remember when you did that, Oatmeal? Oh man, I don't remember when I did that. Oh, I totally remember. Are you saying that you don't remember? I'm saying that I totally remember. No, I don't remember. No matter how many times I try to tell this, and even if I had subtitles and even more articles, not to say that I was really good, but who's gonna listen? Who's gonna care? Man, is this guy really gonna lose his mind? Did he already lose his mind? Man, I don't know, but sometimes I wonder, can I be more clear? No, because you were not clear already, man. Looks like you're going totally crazy. Man, do you do that on purpose? Sometimes I do. I wrote some articles about it, but then nobody read it, so it's like, trolls like to hop on it, and they know that it's gonna scare people away, which they have already done. Sometimes I feel like there's not a lot more that I can do that already. It already did me in, you might say, but then allegedly that might not be the whole story. And then I try to tell my side of the story, but then I never do, but then I already did, but only partly. So that might be true absolutely to an extent. I used to say that back when I was a parable man, but that only happened 1 year. And you're probably wondering what's happening. Like, what happened with that? Nobody knows, but it's all a devastating tale that's never been told because it's already been told, but not completely. When the Oatmeal man tries to get onto a what's the word? Platform, man, and he tries to tell his story, he never does. Then he gets back up and he tries to tell his story again, but then nobody listens. Then he asks himself, if an oatmeal makes a noise in the forest and nobody's there to hear it, does it? Is there enough oatmeal for the pie? Can the pie get bigger? Why is this gonna make this whole thing more devastating than it's already been? Is it gonna be worth the time that it takes? Sometimes I just like to hear the sound of my voice, but then I don't like it at all, and then I wonder what is that like, especially when people think that they can manipulate me. Sometimes I wonder, why do people do what they do, especially in regards to me? But then I try to talk about it in order to use it as an object lesson. But then I feel like it might be more counterproductive. It might be more, what's the other words that I like to use all the time? Well, I like to use the same words over and over again because I feel like I just need to say it again one more time. Just let me make one more video, even though I've probably made so many videos saying the same things so many times. And it's like, what's the point? Why do you do that? And I'm seriously tempted into starting new YouTube channels and blogs and social media where I don't talk about some of these things or any of these things, really. Like, I think about this sometimes when I think about how I misrepresent myself, but then I think, does it really even matter if they already misrepresent me and then I'm misrepresenting on top of that? And then it becomes an echo chamber, man, an echo chamber to an extent, but then that's not always the case. And I'm always like trying to correct the record. Not that anybody's really trying to figure it out, because the only people that pretend to figure it out are the trolls. And then they're like, man, you must be a low cow because only low cows say these words. This is not totally true, but they like to say that it is. And no matter what you say, they will say what they say. And then when I make reactionary videos like this video, for example, that only reinforces what they already believe, which they don't actually watch through all my content, and they even admit to it sometimes. Over the years, since I've been online, since like 95, doing all this, something like that. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I try to figure it out, and I'm still trying to figure out that. Still trying to figure out that. Trying to figure that out. Trying to figure out a lot of things. Just still trying to figure it all out. Trying to figure out so much stuff, and I've been working on that. Working on that. Working on so many things, and burning through all that. Trying to figure it out. Trying to tell myself a story and stuff. And it's so devastating, but it's so great at the same time. So good. It's so good. It's so great. It's so wonderful. So fantastic. It's so terrible. So devastating. I have so much to say, and then I never say it. Even though I say it, I don't say it. But I say it, but I don't say it. I try to say it, but then I cannot really hear myself. I feel like I cannot really hear myself. I'm trying to listen, but then I look at myself and I'm like, who is that person? I don't know that person. No, it's you. It's you. Is it really? Because I feel like sometimes I just can't really summarize everything. But I wanted to upload this video for some reason, but I probably shouldn't. Oh man, it's still there. Why is it still there? Anyways, this is probably a waste of time. But then again, not to say that it is or it isn't. I wrote some articles about trying to summarize my life as I try to put that out there, the foundation and stuff that I believe in that some people don't believe in. I feel like there is some value in some of it, and I believe that there is something there, not necessarily like in most of my stuff, but in some of it. And I got some of my stuff, and then it's like I give myself a bad first impression for people who come and then run into me for the first time, and then run into one of my things online. It's gonna be like, what is that? And then what am I gonna do about that? It's not like I can go and delete everything. Even if I tried, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's gonna be too difficult, and it's not gonna be possible for a lot of reasons, because once it's online, it's always online, kind of thing, to an extent, for a lot of things, to various levels, various extents, depending on you, depending on the person, really, depending on a lot of variables, factors. But who's counting? Apparently I am, but not all the time. But anyways, what am I talking about? What am I talking about? I know what I'm talking about, but I'm kind of like pretending that I don't. But I do, but I don't. Anyways, this is another example of something that I've done. Upload a crazy video, and no matter how crazy the video is, people are gonna say what they say. No matter how normal a video might be, people are gonna say what they say. The haters, the trolls, the regular people, whoever they are, whoever they might be, to various extents. You know, it's like I've seen a lot online over the years, as documented in my my autobiographies and everything. I probably should try to rebrand myself a little bit stronger. Maybe start a new channel. Maybe come up with another channel and totally like put an AI face in front of myself, because there's just so much Oatmeal fake news about me. It's like it's almost like impossible to to do anything because the goddamn trolls and haters follow me. Even though some of them are like, man, you're a boring locale. And I'm like, if I'm so boring, why do you follow me? Why are you following me? Anyways, I've talked about some of this over the years, and so then it becomes a little bit too excessively repetitive. And even though it's not totally repetitive, it's not totally old information, I feel like I'm mixing things up and I'm introducing some new elements here and there every once in a while repeating myself too at the same time. There's a lot of nuance, there's a lot of different things, and it's very difficult for a lot of reasons that I try to get into since I've been online 30 years and doing all this stuff, been online for 40 years, and I try to talk about all this stuff, but then I make it all about me, even though it's not all about me, and I try to say it's not about me, but then it comes out the wrong way, even though I don't want it to come out the wrong way, but then it comes out the wrong way, and it seems like to always come out the wrong way, and I feel like I don't know how to, even though I do, but I don't, but 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 I do, but I don't. It's a long story. I feel like I wanted to put this out there, this video, even though I probably shouldn't, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. It's really hard to say. I'm very split at the moment. Maybe I got a lot of mixed feelings because I can see this play out in multiple ways, especially since I've already done this a lot of times, and I feel like some people are fooled by the fake news. Some people, I don't know. It's really hard to say because some people are not, but they pretend like they are, and they're trying to just mislead other people because they're not actually misleading me, but maybe they think they are. But then I told them, hey, I scammed you. You're not manipulating me, I'm manipulating you. And I don't know if they get it or not. I don't know if the trolls get it or not, but there's been a lot of back and forth, and I try to clarify, I try to let people know what was happening with the back and forth between me and the trolls, and I try to document it a little bit, even though it's not totally clear, and this video is not gonna make things more clear, and so in a way there's no point to a video like this. And this is not my first rodeo, not my first oatmeal, not my first video where I say this. This is not my first video where I say this. Plus a bunch of other things that I try to say, and you might say, you say this in every video. You might, you might say, Oatmeal always says this in his videos. He always says this and this and this and this and that and that and this in all his videos and all his articles and everything online and offline. He always says it every day for the last 30 years. It's not true, but let's just say it is. Maybe it is. No, but it. But I mean, I'm trying to. I'm trying to get it out. Trying to get some things out for the record, but I feel like it's not out. It's not out. It's not out, and this probably makes me look bad. For example, a video like this, probably. How do I do ASMR again? Hello. I don't know. I don't do ASMR. Come on. This video probably makes me look bad, but then again, does it even matter anymore? Because if you say I've already ruined my life, then what is there to lose? Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of how I look at it. In a way, I kind of look at it in multiple perspectives. I sort of look at life in multiple perspectives simultaneously, and so I look at everything, and I'm thinking, okay, let's see. I'm going after all these different things simultaneously, and I'm like, what the hell? But one of the questions would be, how did I get here? And that's one of the purposes of the daily blogs, the autobiographies and everything. Even though they're not finished, that would be the goal. That would be one of the goals. One of the purposes is to try to let people know how did I get here, how did I get to this place. But then again, not a lot of people would care, and I'm not saying that you should. But then again, I feel like it's applicable, it's valuable to a lot of people. But I haven't really made my case. I didn't make my case. I haven't I'm not made my case very clear. Even though you might say that I've had enough time to make my case clear, everything that I'm trying to do in my life, maybe it's not very clear, and there might be a lot of reasons why. And I'm hesitating to say what I want to say, even though I probably already said it many times over the years, everywhere, online and offline. Really, like, I feel like I've already said it, so it's like, what am I doing? Trying to say it again. And why do I make these videos, or articles, or posts, or tweets, or whatever else that I do, where I go over this again and again, especially if there's not a big audience. And there's actually, believe it or not, there's multiple reasons why, and I try to get into it sometimes. I mean, there's purpose, there's meaning, even though I don't always make it clear, and I act crazy because I'm trying to like, sometimes I'm like, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I'm like, not all the time, but sometimes I'm like trying to like clickbait. I'm trying to clickbait and stuff, because I feel like there's so much noise online, and sometimes I feel like, what's the point if all the websites are going to delete me again and again and again? It's like, how do I get people to come in if I'm just going to get banned off all the social media for nothing, and really for nothing, then what's the point? And the trolls will be like, well, you said a bad word that has a bad meaning, and you obviously meant it, but I didn't. But anyways, I'm not gonna go over that right now, because they're obviously watching, not all the time, but they have a hard on that or something. But losing my own train of thought for some reason, because I feel like feel like this video is not gonna go anywhere, and I'm gonna upload it, and perhaps only one troll, one guy who thinks he's gonna say I'm not a troll, but anyways, it's like it's almost like, and that person is gonna be like, hey, you're obviously only making content for me because I'm the only one watching the video, and that might be true for the moment. Therefore, what would you do? Oh man. What would you do if you're in my situation? What would you do? A lot of people would probably not upload this video, for example. A lot of people would not upload this video, for example, and a lot of other stuff. And I probably could try that, kind of thing. But then again, it's too late, you might say. Allegedly, you might say it's too late. I might say it. Maybe I would. Maybe I do. Maybe I did. I don't know. Maybe I knew. Maybe I do. Maybe I do know. I know a lot of things, and I'm trying to get it out. And I feel like it's almost like I'm wasting my time right now. I need to start. I really do need to start rebranding and stuff. I really do need to start uploading real videos where I'm talking about stuff, not talking about just me. And most of the time, not all the time, for the record, for the history books, for the archives, not all the time, but sometimes I'm like, just talking about me. I mean, there's other stuff online over the years, 30 years, thousands of hours of content, and a lot of it got banned, so you wouldn't know. And I'm trying to re-upload it. I try to re-upload it all the time, on all the websites, hundreds of websites, thousands of websites, thousands of accounts. Who knows how many? And nobody knows. I don't even know. I sort of know. I know sometimes, but it's very hard to keep track. It's really hard to keep track, but who's counting? Who's keeping track? But it's very difficult, man. But man, I just lost my train of thought again. Because I have multiple trains of thoughts happening at the same time. I don't know if you're like that. Some people are not, apparently. But for me, I'm like, I'm looking around in my room, and I'm thinking about all these different things. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about this. Thinking about that thing over there. That thing in a bobber. That thing in a bobber. That thing in a bobber. You want a room tour? My hand is still burnt, because I burnt it earlier, and then I literally uploaded the video onto TikTok, and then my troll's like, oh, did you say a bad word? But I uploaded that same video to YouTube. So obviously, trolls do this. They do this thing to everybody. everybody. It's not personal. It's not personal. They do this to everybody, but they try to get under people's skin. This has been about what is this? 25 minutes with Oatmeal, and it's probably a waste of my time. But then again, maybe not. I have a lot of mixed feelings about these past 25 minutes of me just ranting a little bit. I can kind of, I sort of see the value of this video a little bit. I see the pros and cons of uploading this video in the context of my entire 40 years. And I'm thinking about it right now. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. Thinking about my life. I'm thinking about all the pros and the cons. And thinking about all the stuff that I've said and not said. And I think about what I say versus what people say I say, which is not what I said, and how it's taken out of context, because like a lot of times people don't know what I said because nobody knows the context, because nobody has the time to see the context, because you know who has the time. And then to make matters worse, I make it more unclear sometimes I make it unclear, even though I probably shouldn't, but sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. And I do that for a lot of reasons sometimes. And sometimes I do things randomly, and sometimes I'm like experimenting because I have a scientific mind, even though I kind of act like a crazy person sometimes, even though I'm not. But because I'm an actor, I've always been an actor since I was about 2 on stage. I started there in '87. I was on was that some kind of Thanksgiving play, and I talk about that. But it's like, not to say that it's not real, but it's like sometimes I'm like a little bit more theatrical, a little bit more symptomatic. I try to get it out there sometimes, even though I fail most of the time, and I try to apologize, but you shouldn't apologize, but I say sorry, but or wrote an article about that, but then it's like, and then I try to say it again and again, and in new ways, in different ways, because there's always more aspects and more things that I really want to say, and I really want my words out, and my hand's hurting, and I feel like I really want it out, and I really want to express myself and all the nuances, but then I know that a lot of people are going to take it out of context, because that's what they do, and that's what they do, and really that's what they do, and that's what they do to everybody. It's not personal. It's like that's what they do to a lot of people, and it's like that's what they're going to do, and then I wanted to take advantage of that in a way, because they're taking advantage of it, then I'm taking advantage, but it's like, because that's what they do and that's what I do, but it's like nobody really knows what is the real story. What is the real story? But a lot of people don't take the time. A lot of people don't know how to. A lot of people don't know that they don't know. They really don't know that they don't know. And it's like they don't really know. And it's like, if I'm ranting like this, is anybody really going to understand? Is anybody really going to understand? And I feel like there's a part of me that's a really, really just like Scott Adams in trying to find win-win situations. More on that next time. Maybe. Eventually.